Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the first...
You stole my joke. I'm going to start over. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the TNG Reacts podcast. I'm your host, James.
And I'm Jaden.
And this is the first episode, so...
Back. This is episode 6, but we're back. We're podcasting again.
It's like you're making it more cringy than it has to be.
That's the point. It's funny.
I'm going to insert cringe into this. Jaden, why did you decide to start this podcast? What's up? What's the purpose? Why would people want to hear our opinions more than they do on their action channel?
Well, I'm a huge advocate of Andrew Yang, and I just thought I needed to get as much information out about him as possible. So that's why I started this podcast again, so I can get as much information about it.
All right, so let's make something clear, everybody. So basically, he's not completely wrong. Like, what you think, what he's saying, you might think is actually sarcastic, but no. Quite frankly, it isn't.
I'm completely serious.
He talks about Andrew Yang all the time to me, his political candidate, and I just want to make everyone aware that we are not. It's like not a topic. This podcast, like, we're seriously not going to fucking talk about Andrew Yang this podcast at all.
Listen, I was joking. I love Andrew Yang. For those of you who do not know who Andrew Yang is, he's running for president. Everyone should vote for him.
Okay. But what's the first topic? The Logan Paul and KSI fight is coming up.
Yeah, we talked about this only twice already, but yeah, we can talk about it again.
Yeah, but this is the second time around. So our first podcast was about it. This is the second fight with KSI and Logan Paul.
Yes.
Jaden, okay, by the way, I've said something about Logan Paul. I've been watching Impulsive a lot when I'm working and stuff. I actually like Logan Paul a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So I hope he actually wins this fight.
Really?
Yeah. More than anything, though, I hope it's actually, like, interesting. You know what I mean? Like, an interesting fight to watch.
I'm going to say that KSI, I've been rooting him for him since the beginning. I'm still going to root for him. Logan Paul, I definitely like him. Even last year, he wasn't that bad. He was kind of obnoxious, but he wasn't that bad. I do like Logan Paul, though, a lot. He's
changed a ton, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's definitely becoming a better person, and yeah, he's definitely a good guy. KSI, however, I'm still going to root on. I like KSI a lot. However, for those of you who are keeping up with that whole thing, KSI versus Logan Paul...
You see the press conference?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to mention.
Okay.
It was really cringy. Did you watch it?
Yeah. I watched about, so I saw it was 30 minutes long. I watched 5 minutes of it, and yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That was enough.
I watched clips from it, from like both KSI and Logan Paul. They both talked about it afterwards.
Yeah.
It was really cringy. Logan Paul... He's like chanting at him. He had a small... I don't know. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, Logan Paul keeps mentioning that KSI has not been working. KSI keeps on saying that he's been bulking so he could like have more of a power behind his punch. Mm-hmm. However, Logan Paul says the opposite. Logan Paul just says like he's been lazy. He's been on tour with his music, so he's not been able to focus on like training. Like every day.
True.
Yeah, every day Logan Paul's been training. Every day apparently, just trying to be better at boxing, whatever. So KSI... Logan Paul is literally the underdog in this fight, apparently, according to like polls. Like a lot of people think KSI is going to win.
Really?
Yeah, and I think last fight...
what I've heard, it's actually been the other way around, where people are saying that Logan Paul is actually going to be the one who's going to win.
I've just been seeing unbiased. I haven't heard anything from Logan Paul or KSI. I've just been on Twitter, and people have been like putting Twitter polls, and everyone says KSI. So...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't get like a biased opinion from either of them. I just kind of, But, yeah, KSI, I think a lot of people just like him more. That's why they're rooting. That's why they're saying he's going to win. However, last fight, I said Logan Paul was going to win. I was very shocked that KSI did so well against him because KSI at first was like just trying to get in like the swing of things and was kind of like letting Logan just hit him just to see how hard and everything. He was like basically testing him. But then KSI came strong at the end. Like KSI beat the fuck out of him. And if there was like one more round, Logan Paul would have gotten, I think, not knocked out.
I remember that. Yeah.
This time, there's no headgear, by the way, which is insane. Someone's definitely getting knocked out. Like, Eddie Hearn, the guy who's hosting this whole thing,
okay, go ahead.
He says, like, there's going to be something brutal is going to happen in this whole thing. Because whenever you're not professional...
Yeah, he's saying that somebody might get knocked out, yeah, from what I've heard.
Yeah. So I think I think for sure someone is probably going to get knocked out. If they were already... Like, Logan Paul was dizzy last fight because they had headgear on. The gloves were... Like, they didn't hurt as much whenever you got hit in the head. It hurts a lot more whenever you get in the head now, and
way more.
Yeah, and there's no headgear. So like I think Logan Paul, if he's not able to keep his head in the game and not get hit, if he gets hit by KSI, I think one hit just to the head is gonna hurt someone really badly. So,
I would agree. Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm definitely excited for it. A lot of people are saying the hype died down since the last one.
Oh, the hype definitely died down. People aren't as hyped for this thing. You would agree with that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and the wait's not as long too. We're not waiting as long. It's coming up in November. It's already almost around the corner. This thing.
It's literally like 2 months or a month and a half.
Or less, yeah.
Yeah, a month or so. Yeah. So
I think it's pretty cool. And they're teaming up with they're having all undercard professional fighters.
Mm-hmm.
They have been talking about getting Jake Paul either being an undercard, or they're actually going to have him do his own fight a month later.
Yeah.
Because they're working with a subscription service where basically, yeah, something like that, where they're doing the subscription service. You pay like $10 a month, whatever, to see these fights. So if they're bringing and attracting all these people to watch the Logan Paul KSI fight, they said they want to keep having YouTubers fight every single month, or just make it like a regular thing.
Yeah.
People, yeah, just keep subscribers. So I think what we'll see is this fight, and maybe like a month right after that, we'll see Jake Paul and Soulja Boy, Jake Paul, because that was actually one of the things you read about that.
Yeah, Soulja, yep.
Yeah, and then or FouseyTube, or these other people that they're talking about. Not Deji, I don't believe is even an option, right?
Deji's not. Yeah,
there's like a bunch of drama there, right?
Deji's done. He's not gonna fight.
KSI and Deji fell out, right? They had a falling out.
Oh yeah,
big time, yeah.
Dude. They are not on good terms.
Yeah,
they have a lot of family problems. Yeah, Jake Paul, I guess I would watch his fight. I'm not really like as intrigued to see him fight than KSI versus Logan Paul, but like he's okay. He's not terrible. I feel like, he could definitely beat my ass. So, he's all right. It definitely sucks that what sucks the worst is, and no one's talking about this, Joe Weller. You know Joe Weller? He's the guy who started this whole thing. Like, he's literally the inventor of YouTube boxing, because he did it way before KSI. He did it with his friend, and then KSI was like teasing him, like, "Oh, we should fight, pussy." I don't know, just making fun of him. And then that's how KSI got introduced in it. And then KSI kind of like is the king of boxing. But like, it was really Joe. I feel like Joe Weller deserves more credit for this whole thing. And yeah, I don't know.
It's not like a new idea. I'm just gonna put that out there.
It definitely, for YouTube terms, it definitely is a crazy idea. Like, no one would have thought that YouTubers would fight. Like, everyone, literally the thing that people would say back in the day.
Yeah, but it's not that creative. It's not like he really deserves it.
It's innovative. It's definitely innovative. Yeah, for sure. Something, yeah. It's taking a world of something, like a whole big community, and putting it in another whole big. It's just crazy that's becoming a thing. It's just like, if YouTubers were, have their own TV shows, like, that's crazy. Like, that's like bringing a whole new like genre, and it's crazy. And sure. YouTube's becoming bigger, so that's cool and all. Like PewDiePie hitting 100 million subscribers. Did you hear about the PewDiePie thing, by the way? The whole drama like 2 weeks ago or something, or a week ago.
About what?
Okay, so he hit 100 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And then he donated to a.
Oh, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I talked to you about that. I didn't follow up on any of it though. It was yeah, he pulled away his money from that one group, the
anti-Semitism hate group. Yeah, anti-hate group, whatever.
Yeah.
Or they were against anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
So anti-Semitism. Because people were saying that because an anti-Semitic group would be supporting like Nazis. So they're against supporting Nazis. So it's an anti-Semitic. PewDiePie was saying Nazi jokes on his YouTube channel. The Wall Street Journal didn't like that, and then they tried making it seem like he was a Nazi and tried constructing this whole thing. And then, PewDiePie got a shitload of hate from that, from like people that don't watch YouTube, obviously, like, people who don't know PewDiePie. And the media like framed him, like all the media outlets like carried with this and like framed him as like this neo-Nazi, this anti-Semitic person. Yeah. So, he tried like, doing something good.
That's what they caused the apocalypse. One.
That is what happened. Yes.
Yeah.
He actually.
Apocalypse 1. Yeah.
Oh my God, there were so many
things that led up.
Yeah.
Actually, well, the first thing was that racist video, wasn't it? The racist. One video got a Pepsi or Coke ad on it, and then like.
Yeah. So then PewDiePie tried being nice recently. Tried donating to a charity that he found. It turns out like against anti-Semitism to kind of like show that he's whatever. Tried doing a good thing. Turns out that this was a group that like basically they like celebrated his failure back in like 2 or 3 years ago. They were like celebrating that he was getting all this hate because they were saying that he was anti-Semitic as well based on what the media was saying. So this group was against PewDiePie.
Mm-hmm.
So then he made a video like, okay, I'm taking out my $50,000 because, you know, you guys were like, why are you donating to this charity that did all this terrible stuff to you?
Yeah.
And everyone on the internet was freaking out. So then
I was literally on the top of Twitter. That's how I knew about it. First thing, it just had the name PewDiePie pulls whatever amount of money from this group, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I got messaged by my friend Brandon. He he sent me the thing from that. It was on Snapchat, like the story thing. Yeah. So like it got around like from a lot of people that don't even pay attention to YouTube. So
yeah,
but
mainstream media, great job. Yep.
But anyways, yeah, he tried. You know, he pulled out his money because and then the mainstream media used that against him and said,
it's like how they're watching. Once he does a little thing, they attack. Anything else he does, they're just sitting there. He's
number one, yeah, for sure.
By the way, we haven't uploaded a podcast in a year and a half, so at least we're accomplishing that.
It's 8 months. 8 months.
Yeah, we kept talking about doing a video. No, because these were it was 8 months. Damn. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, our last one was 8 months ago. Yeah.
Huh. So we need some new material, guys. If you have any ideas, by the way, please comment them below. Any ideas of certain things we should record or film, right?
Oh, for like our YouTube channel, not podcast.
For our YouTube channel. Yeah, not for our podcast.
Yeah. If you guys want to see, like, if you guys do want to see any other clips of us just doing stupid things, like we have quite a few of them on our channel, we will definitely do it. We're gonna try to be more. We're gonna definitely try to keep doing that, right?
Yeah.
We're not just gonna say that like we have in the past. We're definitely gonna try to do it. I enjoy it a lot.
If people show that they give a shit, then yeah, definitely.
For sure. Yeah. Not even that. Like, I don't care if people give it. I just like doing it. It's fun, and I'll just upload it. If anyone wants to watch it, they can. So I mean, podcast. However, I enjoyed it kind of back then.
I love podcasts from the beginning. We kind of just got busy with the school year because literally our last podcast was like towards when the school year was kind of beginning.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with this. We talked about things that I didn't necessarily like care to talk about that much. Like obviously KSI and Logan Paul I was very interested in, but there's just some things that like I don't know I wasn't very interested in. That's why we're back with this. We're gonna be more
talk about what we want to. Yeah. I think that we didn't do that too much, but there were some things we weren't necessarily interested in, especially like
the school shooting thing. I didn't care about that back then. Like I didn't care to have an opinion on it. Is what I mean.
I had an opinion on that though. I had a real opinion on that. Like the Fortnite thing.
Fortnite, I did not care at all. Like I did not. I hated Fortnite at the time.
Yeah. So no more podcasts just about shit we don't care about. That's for sure. And also we were talking about for about fucking 8 months. Oh, let's do a podcast. It needs to be in video format. Yeah. Where should we film it? I don't know. Okay. And we move on. And then it comes back. The subject comes back around. Here we are. We figured it out, guys. We turned the camera around, and we're filming on the other side. Our reaction channels are filmed right there, right behind this camera. So,
for those of you who do not know what we're talking about, we have a reaction channel. We react to stuff.
Oh yeah, I guess for people who don't know.
Yeah, we sit like right there. So we just kind of ghetto, but
spun the thing around.
Yeah.
8 months. Figured it out. Great job.
Wow. Yeah.
Great. So now we have a podcast. Cool.
Yeah. We're gonna try to be more not innovative. What am I saying? We're gonna try to be more creative with it in a way where we're not like, for instance, we're just testing this out, the whole camera and the mic thing. I don't know how great the mic's gonna be. So if this isn't good, we're gonna go out of our way to try to make this as good as possible. We're not gonna obviously bend over and pay for like a whole studio or like buy all this expensive shit.
Not yet.
Yeah, not right now because we don't have the financial means to support it based from our YouTube channel. So like if I need to, I'll buy a microphone, or I have a microphone. We can just put one right in front of us, or like two maybe. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to do as much as possible. We're just testing this out to see how it goes. It's like a test run. So we're gonna do what we can to make this as good and as enjoyable for you guys
professional
to watch.
As possible too. Yeah. And we are going to actually try to, I guess, build up TeamNoGains as a channel, because this is really the team right now, just me and him. The TeamNoGains Reacts consists of us two reacting.
TeamNoGains, it was just like a little thing
there's other people we have that we know who I think would be kind of cool to bring into TeamNoGains, but we're still kind of negotiating that in a sense. Yeah, they gotta like agree to want to do videos and stuff with us. They're not as passionate as we are, we could say, right?
Yeah.
You say?
Yeah.
Because we need to make this into, in my opinion, my vision of TeamNoGains is kind of just a team of idiots doing dumb shit. Kind of like the people you've seen if you've watched our skits.
Yeah.
Those type of people, kind of just dumb videos and stuff, is we can get together and make like a Team 10, but just a really like, just absolutely stupid version of that.
Yeah, it's like a parody type shit.
It won't be a parody though. That's the thing. We'll actually try to make our own content, but it'll just be really like retarded.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna be. There's a lot of people doing this right now on YouTube where they're trying to have like a whole team of like YouTube creators come together and have like a community. I enjoy it. I like doing it. I had this idea back a year and a half ago, or however long we created TeamNoGains. Our friend Cranon gave us the name TeamNoGains. You guys might have recognized him if you guys pay attention to follow up with us. But
he was on some of the reactions too, right?
He's been in our reactions. He's been on our podcast a couple times. He's been in a lot of videos of ours, or a few videos. We'll definitely bring him in on this too. He's a cool guy. Question mark. You guys know what I'm talking about if you guys know him. But yeah, we're gonna bring him. We're gonna bring him in a podcast more and stuff. And yeah, I feel
you guys all know Cranon. Yeah, okay. No, people don't know Cranon. Okay, come
on. If they followed up with us, they know Cranon.
Kind of.
I mean, he's on a couple podcasts.
You guys will get to meet new people as they come along because nobody really knows what's going on. But yeah, we're gonna try to build this team up. We both go to the same school, so we're gonna try to maybe find some idiots there to bring into the team.
Yeah,
try to just build this thing out.
We just want to. It's not. We're not trying to make like a huge business. I'm in it. At least me. I'm in it just.
We're not in it for the money. Clearly, guys. If we were to take the yearly earnings of TNG Reaction TeamNoGains and put them together, it equals this nothing. Zero. Absolutely nothing. We've made absolutely.
Well, actually, TNG Reacts is starting to
We're getting there. But with TNG Reacts, we could get a couple bucks that we could split amongst each other for food or something to survive. But yeah,
this is our livelihood. No.
We make nothing. So we're obviously not doing it for money. I run a business on the side that does decent, does well. So I'm focused more on that for money purposes.
Yeah.
This is more for fun. This is just for stupid shit.
That's what I'm saying. I was just saying, like, I want to make this like a thing where I can just just hang out with friends or whatever, just mess around.
Fuck around and record dumb shit that we do.
Stupid shit.
Because we always have, here's the thing, guys, me and Jay will actually have decent conversations. And after we'll have like a 1 hour, 2 hour long conversation, we'll be like, that's like podcast material. Why don't we turn that into a podcast? Maybe there's somebody who would want to actually hear about that. Or we talk about stuff I think that's actually interesting in some sense. So, yeah, bring the podcast back. And we're actually going to talk about things we want to talk about or things we would talk about in real life.
Yeah, I'm going to say, as the podcast goes on, you will notice this. James and I, we talk about a lot of very deep shit sometimes, or just everything. We're very open to talking about whatever, but the way we go about it, we usually always debate or argue with each other. We never really come to a
Yeah, hopefully people are cool with that. People like watching debates and stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a negative thing.
Comment if you don't.
I was not saying it's a negative. I think it's more enjoyable to watch people debate than circle jerk.
But some of our debates, when me and Jaden go back and forth,
oh my god,
we never get really angry at each other, but we run around in circles so much on some shit. On this podcast, that's the one thing we're gonna do that we don't do in real life. When we know we've made the same point 9 times, it ends. And we move on.
Yeah,
talk about something different. Yes.
Might get sometimes we might I'm gonna try to edit out whatever running circles.
Yeah, we could edit out the stupidity. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that we definitely run in circles. Here's the thing with me and James, we don't have any emotional. If you ever, say for a viewer, ran into us,
put him over here. Go ahead. You can say that. Go ahead.
Say a viewer, you ran into us in person, and we had a conversation about something. Maybe you wanted to talk to us about something. I would most likely argue with you or debate with you if it's like if you have an opinion on something that I would be interested in debating. I'm comfortable with debating with you because I'm not gonna be a dickhead and just start arguing for no reason. But if you're comfortable with it and we both want to do it, here's how I am. I like to just debate about literally almost everything. And it's not like I like to do it to like make people like angry or like annoyed. I mean, I guess I do sometimes. It's funny, but like for the most part, it's literally just I just like to have differing opinions, and I feel like it's better to argue or to debate about stuff rather than just everyone circle jerking. That's what a lot of podcasts do. I feel like a lot of podcasts don't really have differing opinions and kind of just like clash in like their opinions and like just have points from every side. A lot of podcasts, from what I've seen, a lot of them are just, a group of people, maybe friends, and that's why they don't really clash that often, because a lot of friends don't really do that.
Yeah.
A lot of them just kind of just say the same things.
All we do is clash, basically.
Yeah.
Or a lot of what we do is like us debating points and going back and forth.
And
we never get mad. I've never gotten mad at you debating you.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're so...
Like, if you do something stupid, I'll just roast you on it, and then we'll just keep going back and forth.
Keep going.
There's no, like...
I say a lot of stupid things, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, this is the first thing you'll see. This is the only thing you'll see us agree upon, probably. Just kidding. It's not like we're like that. I'm not going to make it extreme. We agree.
We agree on things, yeah. It's just, I don't know.
A lot of what we say is like debating.
You'll play devil's advocate a lot in some things.
Yeah, I do.
There'll be some days where I'll be like, Jade, you don't need to fucking argue this thing. Like, just like, this thing, just please, just like, I know you want to take the other side, but for God's sakes, just chill it. Like, I want to hear your real, the realest thing. But devil advocate's good for a lot of shit. I mean, if we agree on things, like things that we're going to talk about in the future, one of us should play devil's advocate just to show the other side of things. Yeah, and I think it makes it more interesting.
For sure.
Because I could always see both sides of everything.
Me too.
In a sense, yeah.
Definitely, unless, something terrible, but yeah, for sure, me too.
Let's also, like, transition from this, because I gotta just comment on something. How the hell do we have 146 subs? And I'm not even kidding. Like, it's not that much. I didn't know people actually watch our material. Honestly, like, how do we have 146 subscribers?
I don't know who the hell subscribes to this.
Like, this stuff is just so... I don't know.
Yeah, our podcast didn't really do... The first 5 podcasts are re-uploads.
Yeah. Because
they were uploaded on my Bossum channel. We changed the whole brand.
He retook Bossum.
Yeah.
Now we're on... Yeah. For good reason.
That was interesting.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, but we've had the first podcast on there. They did all right, but now... We uploaded them on here. The first 5 didn't really get views, but then the 6th one did actually do, 160 views. It's not like it's, crazy. I'm definitely used to it.
And shout out to all my followers on the Conservative Libertarian, who I linked, by the way.
Is that how
my Instagram story?
That's probably how it came.
Probably, I don't know. I think I had only 20 people though. Slide up on this thing.
What do you think? These people subscribe probably, and they saw
these videos. Well, the only ones they saw were Ghost Hunters and 17 Savage.
No, but what if they subscribed? I'm saying, like they. They
get the updates for.
They came and subscribed and saw white people be like
Robin Chills and Zimbabwe Chicken. Yeah, they're probably unfollowing me as well. They probably saw me like red.
That's hilarious.
Libertarians are some weird people, so I mean, I don't know.
They probably were.
No offense, by the way, they're not weird people. I love all libertarians.
I think they're very weird people.
Okay, well, looks like we're debating.
The road idea is stupid, libertarians. I'm sorry to say it, but no.
I'm not going to debate that, sorry. It's kind of stupid. Yeah, I don't know. Are we going to talk about politics this whole time?
I would actually...
you want to talk about politics?
I've been wanting to talk about
politics.
But... So, Andrew...
I think I'm going to let you shut up. You have... I'm going to give you like an amount of time you can talk about it again. Okay, we need to cut it down because I swear, I already know this. You're going to end up talking about Andrew Yang every podcast. And this whole podcast audience is just going to turn to Yang Gang fans. They're all going to be circle jerking about Yang Gang. And then I'll criticize something. Everyone will hate on me. It's going to end up turning into that. I don't want this to turn into, first of all, a political channel at all. We can talk politics. I'll talk politics. I'm chill with that. But we got to be able to talk about other things.
Other things, yeah. I love talking about everything. You know this,
yes.
Of course. But
music's a big one. I'm talking about politics and music. Yeah. Those are huge things.
Yeah.
Which we could get into music too, honestly.
For sure. But
yeah,
let's focus on politics. What am I going to say about politics?
Just say your Andrew Yang thing. Go ahead.
First I'm going to say this. With politics, I first, for one, if you guys look back on TeamNoGains, actually, I swear I've said it in the past that I don't care about politics in the past. The past few months now...
I converted this kid, I'm telling you. I straight up converted this kid. Episode 6 was historical for his life. I switched him. Yes, it was.
That did not make me into politics.
Everyone who's a libertarian, I took a communist. A full-on, raging communist.
I was not a communist.
Oh, this guy would walk around with a hammer and sickle and a USSR flag. I switched him around into a libertarian. Jaden, how does it feel to be on the other side of things?
So I fucking hate libertarians. I'm just kidding. No, okay, I'm gonna say, before there's any wrong opinions about me, I was never a communist. Listen, I was starting to get into politics, and if you watch episode 6, you'll see this. I was starting to get into politics I didn't really get too interested in it about 5-6 months ago maybe, but I had some communist ideals. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm like I feel like I'm the complete opposite. Like I'll go and debate people on Discord, and I'm definitely more libertarian for sure. However, I did think like some things I definitely had some communist values. I felt like some things like, maybe like,
I think with you, I think morally you still have those values, but you don't force them upon other people. You're like, oh, it'd be really cool if everybody shared everything, but you realize now that stuff doesn't work out.
Yeah, I just matured, I think is what it was. I realized that in this society,
that communism is a fairy tale. Basically.
Yeah. And here's how I view communism.
We're gonna have a communist on this podcast. I'm not gonna.
Oh my god, yes, that'd be great. Here's how I view communism. I think communism is great, in theory. That's what everyone says. But I think the main problem, if there were no such thing as selfishness, if there was no such thing as greed, I'm not gonna make this all a theoretical podcast, but I'm just saying this one little thing. If those things were not a thing, I feel like communism could work out great. I feel like everyone would be happy with it. But people like to be greedy. People like to corrupt and make things work better for them than others. So that's why they take advantage of communism and communist societies, and they make the world a worse place. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just get into what I was saying. I'm definitely more libertarian now. James, definitely converted me into that. I wasn't really into politics at all. James definitely got me into politics.
Yeah.
Well,
So I gotta say something too. Some people say the thing, communism in theory is great. I don't even like communism in theory. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, James is like a one. Yeah, I've talked to you about this.
No, I don't think I'm a one-off here. Hold on. No, I don't think I'm a one-off at absolutely all. Not at all.
Like 1 in 100. I feel like 1 in 100.
No, not even close. Honestly, I think people like to beat each other, get richer. Clearly, if you look at capitalism, that's the case. Okay.
That's
I know
greed.
It sounds
that's from greed and
greedy, or people will look down upon it, but most people do it. Hold on, stop. Hold on. Yes. Hold on. So, I'm going to say, personally, maybe it's selfish of me to think this, which is fine. Yeah, I think selfishness is fine, yes.
Yeah.
And greed is good.
Never said it's bad.
I think greed is good to an extent. Okay? I think because of people's selfishness and greed and wanting to move forward and build their businesses and make more money, has actually made us the best country in the world. Kind of falling off on that. But we were the best country in the world at one point, I would absolutely say. I think
it just got too extreme, these ideals. I feel like people took too much of advantage.
We're just really corrupt now, I think. I think there's a ton of corruption. Yeah, I don't think voters are informed enough, but we'll save that. Yeah, basically, in theory, I would not be in favor of this. I like to be able to win and have competition. Yeah, I think it's good for the economy. I think it's good for others. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not like I'm beating someone down. I'm beating other businesses. We're all in the same, arena in some sense.
Yeah,
we're all doing the same thing.
And this is where...
As a businessman. Now, I know you're happy doing your thing. For me, I like to...
I get the point. Okay, I'm going to say this. I get the point. What I said, whenever I said... Just because I said that it is a thing, that people... That, like, greed and selfishness is a thing, I was just stating a fact about humans, like nature. That was never supposed to have a negative, like...
Well, all I'm saying is most people do. And when you're saying like 1 in 100, it's probably because I'm this guy who's cool with greed and cool with selfishness.
Yeah. Like, I'm cool with it, obviously. I like to take advantage of things, capitalize on, make money, I like to go out of my way, do better.
And I have morals too.
Yeah.
I definitely have morals with a lot of things.
For sure. I'm not... Yeah.
This country was built on capitalism.
Let's just... Okay.
Go ahead. Let
me just continue.
Go ahead.
So, whenever I was saying, like, communism is a good... Most people agree... Because most people do not think they want to like work their life away, and that's what most people do in this country, or in almost everywhere. It's something we have to face, that we are gonna have to work for the rest of our lives, which I hate. I don't like it. I think there's a way better system. We can talk about this in the future episode because this is like a long conversation. But I'm just gonna say I feel like there's a way better system in which we can live in. And this system we currently live in, I feel like there's the reason why mental health and a lot of other things are on the rise. Bad mental health, not just mental health, bad mental health is on the rise, and a lot of other things. And I think it comes down to how we live, this society. And this society, capitalism is good. Like I said, I definitely have more libertarian values. I like capitalism, but just like everything, when something gets abused, it's always bad. If anything's ever extreme, it's always bad, and it's definitely been an extreme, I feel like, and that's why there's a lot of these negatives that are coming. Anyways, we'll talk about this later in a future episode. I just wanted to say about politics. I'm definitely getting into it more. Really strange. I am more so libertarian. However, I'm voting for a Democrat. And this is where James said I have my little time to talk about Andrew Yang.
I'll sit here. Go ahead.
Andrew Yang is running for, and whenever I talk about politics with people, I often bring in Andrew Yang because I feel like he has a lot of answers to a lot of things that people talk about. However, he doesn't have the answers to everything. He has one main policy that he talks about, and then a few other ones that he talks about a lot. But I actually just got a text. Let me just open up the text real quick. I just got a text from them today. They said, "Hey, Jaden." Oh, no. They said, "Hi again, Jaden. We all love the freedom dividend, but Andrew has over 100 other revolutionary policies. What's your favorite policy that's not the freedom dividend?" And I said, "Human-centered capitalism." And they said, "Great answer. We are more than just a set of numbers. Your response will help guide the campaign moving forward." So he's definitely trying to venture into other policies and be more, just for everyone. He wants a lot of other voters. But I think his main policy, which is the freedom dividend, for those of you who do not know, it's a form of UBI. And whenever I say that, people are like, "Oh no, socialism." It's not a form of, it's really not socialism. It's definitely more so the way he's going about it. UBI is a form of socialism or communism or whatever, but the way he's going about it, it's basically it's capitalism, except we're starting off with $0. You start off with 1,000, and he's going to give $1,000 every month to everyone who's over 18. And I feel like a lot of problems would be solved with that main policy he has, and a lot of other policies, too. But yeah, I feel like he's definitely a genuine person from what I've seen. And obviously, he could be putting on the front, but he definitely seems genuine. Yeah. So
here's the thing: I could sit here and also agree with you on these things, but I don't want this to turn into an Andrew Yang circle jerk. Okay. There's actually a lot of things I actually disagree about too with him. However,
there's a few things too.
When we talk politics, I think we should keep it. We can talk about Andrew Yang. The thing is, though, we should always be talking about the other candidates too.
Yeah.
Almost equal amount. Just kind of like the debates, how Andrew Yang doesn't get equal talking time. Everyone needs equal talking time. Representation. I'll represent,
Okay, give me some more
type shit. No, Cory Booker. I really look at the Democratic field.
I look into them.
I'm not a huge fan of them.
I'm just interested.
I like the Andrew Yang. I think he's pretty cool. But I'll probably be voting maybe for the Libertarian candidate, John McAfee, or whoever's going to be running. Yeah. Or I'm never a fan of who they elect, who they put up as a Libertarian candidate. We could talk about. I could sit here and plug, Austin Peterson. By the way, shout out Austin Peterson, lives in our state of Missouri. We should have him on the podcast sometime. That should be really cool. We can just talk about ideas, and we can just agree on things. You can sit there.
Cool.
However,
I'll debate him.
Yeah, basically, I think the Libertarian Party, guys. I think here's the thing too. I don't know why I said guys. Just me and you. Everyone, listen. I think that there should be more than one political party. I'm not a huge fan of this two-party system at all. I fucking hate it because we've elected, they nominate two absolute idiots. And the thing is, they're going to have Trump, who I'm not a huge fan of. I'm interested in Trump. I think he's a very interesting guy. I think business-wise, he did pretty well up until a certain point. I wrote a report about him for college. Mm-hmm. I'm very interested in him. I almost like him in some way. But I don't think he should be running the country.
No.
Completely.
Yeah, I agree.
However, I don't know if whoever they're going to elect for the Democratic. I'm not a huge fan of Bernie. I'm not a huge fan of Elizabeth Warren. I'm not a huge fan of Biden. I don't think Yang's going to get it. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say this.
But
Biden. Sorry.
But all those people, I understand kind of Biden's kind of neutral Democrat. I'm just not a huge fan. He's kind of like an Obama in some sense, literally.
Yeah, well, literally, he's a copy and paste.
Vice president, yeah. Basically, like
yin and yang. That's racist. You were saying.
So,
I didn't because it's black and white.
Yeah, funny. So, also, I think, I'm just not a huge fan of the whole Trump and just two people who, I don't know. Their policies aren't that, they're not that great. I'm not a huge fan of either of them, really.
I'm going to say.
However, we need more opinions. We need a libertarian opinion. We need a Green Party opinion. We need other opinions. Yeah. And the thing I love the most is when, I guess it was, God, I've already forgot his name. This guy who ran, it's going to make me sound stupid now. But there are two, it was George W. Bush, I believe, and I should even talk about this. I don't even think I'm qualified. But basically, all I'm going to say is back in the, I guess it was the 80s or 90s, they had a third guy run. Mm-hmm. I can't think of his name. I wish I knew it. But there was a third guy who ran. He was a billionaire, ran an oil industry, had a whole thing, so he could
I
buy.
remember this. Yes.
Yeah, he could buy like talking time on TV and stuff.
Yeah.
He actually got like 17%, I believe it was, of the country to vote for him. We got no electoral votes, but he got 17% of the country to vote for him, and he bought ad time on television to actually like get his voice out there because he was so rich. He could actually be one of the people to do that.
Was he a libertarian?
Sadly, no. He was a Reform Party, I believe. Okay. Which is the party that died out right after he left. He basically built that party. But that party was supposed to go places, never went anywhere. However, he did a great job. He showed that another party could be a part of the conversation. He was in the debates.
Gary Johnson.
He made things interesting. I'll get on him too in a second. But yeah, it was I can't think of his name, but he definitely was like, I want more of that. I want more people on the debate stage besides two people. It's just stupid. I want more options.
Yeah.
I think everyone
agrees.
There's so many more perspectives.
Most people agree.
But everyone agrees, but nobody votes third party. Just saying, because they won't win. But the only reason they won't win is because everyone thinks that way. So somebody has to put
I'm going to say, who the fuck is running? John McAfee? I'm not going to vote for I don't like John. I'm
not a huge fan of John McAfee either. I was okay with Gary Johnson. I don't think it just was a good representation.
Here's what I'm saying, James.
I think it was kind of stupid.
Before you continue with this, I'm going to say, people will want to vote for people who they like. Whenever people can do research, like everyone wants a third party. They will probably, some people, not everyone, but some people do research. I did research on some libertarians that are running. John McAfee. He's not someone I would want to vote for, and that's why people don't. I don't think people should go out and vote for someone just because a third party should be in. I think people should go out to vote for who you think is truly going to make the change the country.
And that's the thing. Most people actually would vote maybe for a Green Party candidate, even if you're like a Democrat or a Libertarian.
I think I heard about.
We've had so many the Libertarian Party has actually had a lot of sane candidates up until this. Now I don't know if John McAfee is going to win. If he doesn't win, then we'll actually probably have, based off the people I've looked at, a sane candidate in there who we should vote for. I think Gary Johnson was actually pretty good. Quite honestly, he was like, his personality was a little, whatever, but I think his policies were very good. I was a huge fan of his policies as a person. But I think we should definitely be looking. I think everybody should be looking at other parties.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees. It's just, not everyone agrees, obviously.
I think a lot of people go, oh yeah, sure.
Because whenever they hear that. But no one, here's the thing.
It's like a lot of things.
James, let me cut in real quick. Here's the thing. The reason why people don't is because no one hears about them. And unfortunately, a lot of people, I'm not saying everyone's stupid, but a lot of people do not go out of their way to do their own research, or it's really hard in this day and age. There's a lot of propaganda in America. Whether you believe that or not, propaganda is so high right now.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. In this day and age, it is the easiest to research a third-party candidate.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I didn't mean. Okay, yeah.
Candidate. This is the time.
I took the wrong saying. In this day and age, because for a few years before this past, 5 years maybe, there's a decade where there wasn't much fake news, and a lot of the news you got, if you looked on Google, I would be able to come to a conclusion very fast on something that was real, not fake. Right now is what I didn't mean in this day and age. I'm just saying fake news is definitely on the rise, and it's definitely the highest it's ever been. Fake news for sure.
Now?
Oh, fuck yes. What do you mean?
Fuck no.
The past 4 years when Trump's been, it's been getting exposed more and more. No one knew.
It's getting exposed. It's always been around. That's the point. I think it's dying because it's getting exposed. It's always been there. Fake news has been there. When we go back in time, okay, it's hard for me. Here's the thing. Now, the news could have been really great back then, okay? But to be completely fair, I didn't live in that time, so it's hard for me to say because I didn't watch the news back then.
Yes.
But the thing is, though, is that there were so many limited sources you had for news.
Back when?
Even more back in the 80s.
Well, I'm just saying 5 years ago.
You're saying 5 years ago? I'm just saying
6 years ago. It was definitely better than
I'm saying once the internet hit, we still had the fake news, right? But once the internet hit and slowly got bigger and bigger and bigger, these things slowly got more and more exposed. Conspiracies and things became more popular. Helping. Alex Jones type people have become more popular. Or just independent people in general have become more popular, and that's made people realize, oh wow, we have like this new opinion that's being brought on by the internet. This is fake news. It made people woke. I think now it's the best time for a new candidate or somebody different to come out because the internet is so good.
I think 6 years ago was the best time. I'm saying right now it's just getting worse. Everyone's just fake. No one cares anymore. Back then, they used to actually at least care what people thought. Now everyone's just going rogue. All these companies, why are you making those faces? This is true. A lot of people support this. these companies are just like, okay, fuck it. They all know we're fake news now, so we're just gonna spout our bullshit anyway. Everyone's gonna go make up lies. Donald Trump is.
But they're all being ignored. Most of them are being ignored by the new people coming on the internet.
So I'm saying, but if I go on the internet right now and I look up anything,
but 4 years ago,
I'm just gonna say Google, YouTube, everyone is gonna push. If you want to look up information on Google, I tried. By the way, Donald Trump did not. Whenever everyone says like Donald Trump is terrible for what he did to these kids at the border, most of the pictures you see that I saw every day, I was on Twitter every day, or I would look up on Google like Donald Trump immigration. I would always see like pictures of these kids like in these cages being separated from their families. I would be heartbroken for these kids. But then, guess what? Those were from the Obama administration. Almost 90% of those pictures, and I found that information out because I had to dig. I didn't.
The internet.
Nope. No. The problem was I saw all those pictures, and everyone was saying it was Trump because they just don't like Trump, and the media push it. And anytime you can look on Google, I could do it right now. If you look up on Google, I'm most likely sure these companies, CNN, pays Google to be at the top, and they hide anyone that's like actually real news. And that's why I said it's really hard to find out real information. And anyone who has like a life, and you could be like, well, anyone can find out any information whatsoever. Oh, I'm not done. Anyone can find out any information whatsoever. Some people, 80% of this country is not going to go do that. Unfortunately, I think a lot of corruption should have to go away. Maybe somehow there should be a way for these companies, these media outlets to go away to make sure. I feel like it's terrible to lie to people. Like, I feel like the media should have to be enforced to be able to they have to tell like truth. They can't just just say, oh, Donald Trump's a Russian spy, or oh, Donald Trump.
Okay, I'm gonna have to interrupt because you are going on. There's so many fucking points I have to make. Listen, first of all, 4 years ago that shit would be on the news. And nobody would be able to go on the internet and figure out that it was false.
4 years ago? Yes, 4 years ago, everyone could go on the internet, James.
Yes, but I'm saying the internet's more powerful now is what I'm saying. That's the whole point. I'm saying everything's getting more internet-based. That is not even remotely true. Here's the thing, Ron Paul. Let's all remember Ron Paul,
no one knows
which is...
Ron Paul was watching this.
Okay, hold on. 8 years ago with Ron Paul, first of all, internet was popular. The whole debates were hosted, like Google was starting to host debates instead of saying like they're partnering up. The internet was powerful. Here's the thing. Ron Paul got cheated out of talking time.
Mm-hmm.
Cheated out of his opinion, the whole bit. Okay? Just like Andrew Yang of today. Yes, shout out Andrew Yang. Here's the thing, though. People really didn't know what was going on at the time because most people were still watching the only channels, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, the mainstream media. People were so invested in that. But once everything kind of died down with the election, they realized, oh my God, what's happened to Ron Paul? Poor Ron Paul, blah, blah, blah. And now on the internet, even people like Yan supporters know what happened to Ron Paul. I've done research on this too. Okay. It's like a famous thing now. But the whole thing with Yan,
learn from experience.
But people know about the mic thing now, and the whole thing with Andrew Yang, who's getting his mic turned off. A lot of people know that now thanks to Twitter and the internet, not thanks to CNN, not thanks to Fox News, not thanks to MSNBC, thanks to the internet, thanks to the free media. And now people like Andrew Yang can actually go up in the polls, get talking time. The mainstream media has to mention it, has to be involved because the internet's so strong now. The internet has so much power. The mainstream media does not recognize it anymore.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying the internet's not a good place. I'm just saying...
What goes back to my original point. This is the time for a new candidate.
We've been running in circles. I'm just going to try to conclude this very easily. Yes, it is definitely the best time it's ever been. I agree with that now. However, still not good. Google, I'm pretty sure, is getting paid by the mainstream media. YouTube, if you look up anything on YouTube politics related, you're not going to fucking see our podcast. Maybe I'll type politics.
Sure.
I'm saying these companies are getting paid corruption to put fake news out there, and that's why almost 80, probably 90%, probably more of this country is never going to most likely will not know like the big picture of things. Most people are like, oh, it's fake news. But they'll listen to it anyways. They're gonna get their information from that anyways. Most people say it's fake news, but they like my parents. My parents know that the mainstream media is fake news. Fox News, they said, is fake news. CNN, they still watch both of those things and still get their news from that. And they go like, "Oh, Jane, did you hear about this news?" Well, it's fucking fake. What are you telling me? Why are you telling me about it? So, see what I'm saying? Everyone notices it's fake news, but no one actually goes out of their way to try to make a fix for this. Everyone's just like, oh, well, I'm getting spread. Like, at least it's better to be knowledgeable about it that we're being fed bullshit, but nothing's happening. And maybe one day...
It's like most shit, honestly.
Maybe one day...
It's just like we know bad shit's going on, but we're like,
saying.
Damn, someone should do something about that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm just like, that's what
I can't blame all Americans though. People are very busy.
That's what I was trying to make my point originally too. Yeah, most people are busy. They can't really go out of their way to find out most information.
But it's way easier now.
It's easier.
Because I can subscribe to somebody. Now I'm gonna just put names out there. I'm not saying these people are people I watch.
Just continue.
I follow completely.
Alex
but
Jones.
You can subscribe to Alex Jones. You can subscribe to Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, different people.
I love Ben Shapiro. On
YouTube and things. You get different opinions. You can check their channels, and it's not super hard. You can check Twitter, and instead of just mainstream Twitter, stupid retard Twitter, you can check. Like, you can follow certain different people, follow a bunch of Republicans and Democrats and Libertarians and whatever, and get in your feed a bunch of different opinions.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, Jaden, with the whole Obama thing, with the photos, if you would have followed more conservative accounts and liberal accounts that are just looking at trending, you would have probably actually got both sides. Because the whole feed, the trending feed, whenever I look at the trending feed,
I don't look on trending.
Bullshit.
I don't look on trending to get my information. I got my information from literally just talking or like debates type things. Like, that's how I got most of my information. The only reason why I found out, it's a problem.
I always do research when I hear something like that, and then
I wasn't really interested in the politics back then. Whenever I would get this information,
I'm talking about the photo thing, the photos at the border, that thing.
Oh yeah, that. The only reason why I'm gonna say that I found that out, I was so shocked. I'm gonna restate what it was, by the way, because some people might think it was just bullshit. I kind of glossed over it. These pictures that you'll see of these kids being separated at the borders, the main point against Donald Trump, one of the main points is he keeps kids in prison camps. And here's the thing, Obama was better, where he was deporting 4 million immigrants a year. It's better to do that, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, than what Trump is doing, where Trump is like, he's trying to do better, I think. I'm not, like, honestly, I don't think he has any morals about it, but he is trying to, like, do the better thing, I think, whether he actually, like, feels an emotion or not about it. I think he thinks he's doing the right thing. However, it's just better to let them go, because right now he's just keeping them there for longer in these cages, and of course they're like getting fed or whatever, but they're not in the best conditions. You know, I feel like people think that they'd be better back in their just home country rather than just being kept here for a longer period of time and then getting deported. You know, so. But anyways, those pictures that you'll see of these kids getting separated from their families, most of them are from Obama's administration. The only reason why I figured that out, I was watching a Change My Mind with Steven Crowder. I'm not kidding. This is how I figured it out. And this girl, like, brought that point up. Every time I've talked to anyone about Donald Trump, they've always brought that point up. Almost every single time. 90% of conversations about Donald Trump is that he keeps these kids separated from the families. That's not a thing he can do anymore. There's a law that, there's a law in place where he can't do that. So I only found that out because of Steven Crowder, just randomly. I didn't go out of my way to research it, and I could have. I did, actually. I didn't just take his word. I looked it up on Google. I had to go through 3 pages of Google to actually find out one article about that. Only one article, and that's whenever I was able to, like, get into this whole, like, I was able to find the real news. It was so hard to find it. I don't know why. I had to search for, like 30 minutes just to find one little piece, like, one little, thing. And that's why I was pissed. That's why I was, like, fired up at the beginning of this, like, saying, like, it's stupid how fake news is so high.
Yeah, they're taking over YouTube, I'd say. Still is the best time, in my opinion.
Best time, still not good.
Yeah,
it's the best time to,
It's like, it got a lot better, but there's, like, little things that are being taken over in some way, which I think we can, as a community, as a country, win back.
It's just like saying it's the best time to be a black, African-American in this country and thrive. However, obviously
there's still bad shit going on.
Obviously, It's still very, very bad.
I think, arguably, this probably would be the best time for people of all races.
Yeah,
I'm saying, yeah.
However,
there are still problems there. Agreed.
There's still major things like it's really bad. So, like,
yes, of course,
it's better, but, like, I feel like it needs to be pushed even more.
That's a lot of things too. I think as fucking everything is better now. Honestly, everything, like, is in general, like, our society. We have technology. It's just like life was way more difficult back then.
Yeah, but how
people are still having a difficult time.
How much longer until AI?
That's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other conversation. All I'm saying is that
because people can view it the other way around, like the glass thing.
Okay, but right now, right at this very moment we're filming this podcast, it is the best it's ever been. Sure. Right now.
It's going downhill probably, but yeah, sure. It's definitely the best right now. It's probably the peak, is what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
I think we're at the peak time.
But if we do talk about, I think a lot of problems are blown up. I think this is just, we all need to just sit there, because everyone loves problems, or talk about problems and stuff. Nobody else will sit there and circle jerk about how good the times are. How long can you do that for? It's not interesting to hear about, not interesting to talk about. We do have to realize this is the best time.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good times.
Best time in our country. Our country was way worse back then. Maybe you can take like the last few years and just be like, whoa, 2018 was a little better. But like in general, it's way better now than it's ever been.
Did you know?
And the world, for sure.
I'm going to say this.
It's so peaceful now, in general.
Do you know this is a statistic? I'm going to mention Andrew Yang, but this is not the whole point. I'm just going to say, this is what a quote from him. But this has nothing to do with Andrew Yang. Because you were saying it's the best time for like almost everything.
Plug.
I'm going to say, he says... This is a quote from him. I'm not going to relate it anymore to him. He says that in the 90s, or in the 80s, sometime, whenever he was growing up, millennials, there was a 90% chance that you would do better than your parents. Now it's like, I think 50% or below. And better as in like success, like money-wise. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's like, it's decreasing so much. So in the past like 20 years, it's decreased like almost half. And it's like going to be... Apparently, it's going to continue to decrease because there's no, there's no ups like from what we see so far. And it's going to probably keep going down from what we've seen. So you're saying it's like the best times. I mean, for some things, but like that, money-wise,
depends what you find. I guess it depends what you put meaning on.
Yeah, but success, everyone needs
happiness.
Food.
It's definitely not the happiest time. People were happy back then, but people are happier in India or countries where it's not as great as here, or supposedly great.
They're happier there. Apparently.
Well, yeah, from things I've heard. I've done research on like happiness around the world and stuff. People are actually way happier in other countries that are worse off. Apparently worse off.
Why do you think that
they don't
is?
Appreciate anything.
That's true.
But yeah.
Well, I think
just in general, technology-wise, I would say we're at the best. I think it's the easiest to be happy now. But we choose not to. I'm just saying because like we have everything. We almost have all our needs satisfied: food, shelter, water, and stuff like that. Yeah. Like people like are satisfied with that. Like we have all that down.
Mental health's the worst.
Like 300 years ago, sure, but that's not a huge thing. But like 300 years ago, that's still a fucking huge problem. Food and everything, like shelter and stuff like that. Yeah, all our needs are like completely almost fixed. Almost Africa is changing so quickly. It's such a rapid economy. Even Africa is becoming very well fed.
Sure.
Much better economy. Just the world in general. Just in that sense. Just the needs. Just surviving. Maybe surviving. Is
okay, let's just generalize back to America. What were you saying about America?
I'm saying that maybe time. Not happiness-wise, but I'm going to say like it is the easiest to potentially, I would say, be happy, and technology and everything has made everything a lot easier. Now, mental health and stuff, I think that's a lot of, I think honestly that's a lot of stuff that we just never recognized in the past. That was always a problem. But people would be like, toughen up, or you're just an idiot. Like literally people who had special needs back then, 200 years ago, they just called them literally like idiots and stuff. Like they didn't think anything. They were just dumb.
Okay, well, you're making a lot of points. Let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
It's the best time technology-wise, for sure. Everyone has an iPhone. Everyone has information, right? And everyone can do anything. But maybe the scale, kind of broke. So then technology skyrocketed, and then happiness went down, and mental health is at its all-time worst. And it's
we're adapting.
It's continuing.
Trying to adapt.
It's trying to adapt. However, I think it's also because a lot of people, and we're different. Me and you, we get our social.
I would say growing pains, by the way, in my opinion. But go ahead.
Huh?
I think we're growing. It's a growing.
Oh pains. Yeah. Mental health and suicide decreases every year. I mean, it's getting worse every year. It's definitely not getting better. However, I'm gonna say, I think the reason why is because a lot of people feel lonely. If you ask most Americans, most of them feel lonely, and there's studies that show like loneliness is at such a high level. It's because technology is at such a high thing, and and the reason why is because everyone's always on the computer. Everyone's always on the computer. Everyone's always on their phone, gaming, whatever. And I love all those things. Obviously, my whole career is going to be based off of a computer. I love gaming. I love being on the internet. I think I'm emotionally more stronger though than most people, so I don't really get affected by it. But other people, from what I've heard and seen, a lot of people get very affected by it, and that's probably why mental health is at such a high. Maybe the scale is kind of broke. So
it is,
and so no one wants to go out anymore and do things and get just the social needs they need, and they don't realize they need it. But I feel like as humans, we're social beings. We need that, bond. We need that thing to be able to be more sane. And not only that, there's so many reasons why mental health is so bad. That's just one out of like hundreds I could mention. There's so many different things. But that's just, I feel like that's more of a major one.
Yeah.
You said it's good that technology's on the rise. I'd rather live in the 60s. I feel like most people say, like, oh, I'd want to be back in the days, back in the 80s. I feel like I hear a lot more than ever. And I think the reason why is because it was such a time where everyone was, like, social, everyone was out and about.
Yeah, I'd agree. I actually agree with that point. I think I'd be happier back then in some ways.
Me too.
I think it's just because, like, here's the thing, like I said, like, it's easier to become happier now, but people just don't know we're adapting, growing pains in some sense, where, like, we all need to kind of realize that we need each other. It's cool. Internet's great. Don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of parts of the 80s that I fucking hate. The whole communicating between people when you're not around people.
But it makes it more fun. It makes it more, I don't know. I feel like it would make it more fun, like adventurous type. I don't know.
It get kind of annoying.
No one could cancel plans back then. You have to go. If you made a plan with someone, you have to go.
That's also not a great thing either. People cancel plans a lot because those plans might not. There's reasons why people do things.
Someone died, or someone close to them died.
Yeah, I know. The whole point is, I like some parts of I don't know. I feel like, well, I'm not even gonna talk all about. Let's not just get in a whole fucking conversation about the fucking 80s. We didn't even grow up then. But should have an old person on this podcast. Just interview them about the past. Anyways, I think that the thing is that I think we just need to spend more time with it. Like, it's still possible. I can still go outside and spend time with people. Like, I can go do these things. These things are still possible. We have the most opportunity, but we don't know how to actually go about making certain things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like, back then I couldn't just, get on the internet if I wanted to or do any of these things. But now we have the opportunity to do all these things, both things, hang out with people in real time and be able to be on the internet. Two pros. But we only focus on one. We only do the internet.
Well, that's not true.
We only focus on one.
People always hang out. Like, and a lot of people I've actually realized, a lot of people who are always out and about, I'm not going to mention any names, but a lot of people that I talk to, they're the most social that I know. And I'm definitely not very social. And I'm like, I'd rather be in my room and be on the internet. However, I still am social. But I prefer that. However, I feel like I'm the most mentally stable compared to another person that I know. They
I don't even know who you're talking
about. They go out a lot. They love it. They love doing it. It's something that makes them very happy. However, they're very not stable mentally. And I see that a lot. How people are always out and about, but they're also not mentally stable. So I feel like internet technology has like its con. That's why I said it's not such a major. It is a major one, but it's also not the main one. And I think there's hundreds of different reasons why mental health is so bad. It's not just internet and technology. So I don't want to focus on that. Like, that's the reason why. And I said we'll talk about this in a future episode, so I'm still going to say that because that's like a whole hour discussion I could have. But
yeah.
Well,
now we have topics for next episode.
Yeah. To be continued. We're not going to say anything else. Just go watch the next episode. Goodbye.
But seriously though, I think we should probably wrap it up. Yeah.
More money, more problems.
That's right. Okay, cool. So we dived into a lot of different topics, I think, throughout this podcast. I think that was pretty good. We can kind of elaborate on those in full-length podcasts, which you turn on post notifications. That would really help yourself if you care about those. You can see those new podcasts come out. Maybe our next podcast should literally be about mental health for an hour or so.
I would I like talking about that.
Okay, cool. So now I have some ideas just by talking. And I think we can continue running off of that and not just focus on just what's popular, what's trending. Just talk about what we want to talk about.
Before we wrap it up, because I feel like it's coming to a conclusion right now, I'm going to say one thing. We're going to try as our best as possible to make this more enjoyable, entertaining for you guys. If this microphone is kind of like, sucky, I'm going to, maybe bring my microphone. We're going to test out different things in future episodes. We're going to maybe have a few guests, on. So we're not just going to have us, me and James, and just be, it's not going to be this crappy quality. We're going to
improve forever.
Yeah, we're going to improve over time. We're going to have other people on as much as possible. So just stay tuned. We are definitely going to try to improve this podcast.
This is just episode 1, technically, of season 2 of
I'm going to call it TeamNoGains Podcast Season 2, Episode 1.
Yes, please highlight that.
I'm not going to. That's stupid.
Really fun. Well, it's been so fucking long. I mean, it's kind of different. We've changed.
Definitely different. Yeah, we've changed a lot. My whole political views have changed, so I know a lot about this.
Kind of a new season.
Character development.
Whatever. Okay, so, that's all, everybody, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Let's do the plugs. Go subscribe. Go like. Go comment. Turn on post notifications.
Here, I'm gonna end it. thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment down below what you thought of our opinions on anything. If you guys want to debate us in the comments or whatever, maybe we'll have you on one day type shit. Just kidding. Yeah, let us know what you guys thought of what we discussed in this episode, though. We definitely we'd appreciate what you think. But anyways, we have a reaction channel, TNG Reacts. If you guys want to go check out our reactions to music videos, TV shows, trailers, whatever the hell is.
Oh yeah, there's even TeamNoGains.
Yeah, whatever the hell's out there, we're gonna react to whatever you guys want us to react to. Go check out that channel. React to whatever you guys suggest if it's interesting to us. Yeah, we have a Patreon. We might include TeamNoGains content on there too, not just reaction stuff. So if you guys are interested in donating us, helping us, definitely help out the podcast. We'd use that money for the betterment of the podcast. So yeah,
that's all. Goodbye. Fucking kidding me. No. You're gonna leave that in there. I know you are.